About time for another Coach Life. So today is Monday, April the 26th. Still Ramadan. Probably about 5 or 4 days left in the month of Ramadan. And, well, more like if it's lunar, it should be 3. Long story short, we're wrapping things up, but coming off of spring break for some schools, my school being one of them. So this is the Monday back. And it's interesting because it feels almost like it should be summer. So there's this mixed feelings, energy around going back into the building. Like you don't want to, but you also want to, because it's the end of it's like the end of a race. You kind of enjoy it, but also it's painful. That's where we are collectively, it feels. What do I know? But I was realizing yesterday about the Coach Life, so I'll have to upload a few of them because I didn't have Wi-Fi and I didn't feel like going back to Highland. So I was realizing some things about the Coach Lives. They're really powerful for me. I watch them again and I remember when I'm aligned. See, the thing is, I don't get into this space unless I'm aligned. But of course, once I hop out of this space, I got things I have to do. I got boxes I got to check. It's just reality. And so sometimes all of that box checking and handling business and the day-to-day, some would call it mundane activity, sometimes it clouds over these moments, and I don't remember exactly what happened in these moments because there's some really powerful gems in these moments. So they really helped me, no lie. And I'm just trying to be as honest as I can in the moment with the information that I have. And then it also hit me yesterday that I could really provide a service for a specific group of people. And I got so excited when I realized it because for, I would say, the last 5 years at least, or 4 years, the last 4 years at least, I've been feeling this sadness brewing because I'm realizing the people that I wrote my first novel for, I'm no longer interested in connecting with at that level. The people that I started Coach Life for, I'm no longer interested in coaching at that level. It seems like as soon as I find a group where I'm like, okay, I know if I help these folks with this, it'll have just amazing benefits for humanity. Like it'll be great. Like I feel like I have a purpose. And then for the last 4 years, I've just been feeling like, man, I don't want to help these people. I don't want to help the groups that I thought I wanted to help. I don't want to help them. I thought I wanted to really help public education via the school systems. And now I'm realizing I don't want to help this school system. This is not. But now I'm realizing my group, the group that I really want to help. And so this is not to say that I feel any regret about helping those that I helped. For example, I stumbled into becoming a teacher in the first place. I just needed to pay rent, and becoming a basketball coach and a substitute teacher was it was the only real option that I had that made it was the only real, ask Kane, we walked up and down New York, like block to block, over 100 blocks, looking for jobs. It was not So when a job pop up, you take it. And my job that popped up was substitute teaching, a basketball coach, and substitute teaching. So that the only reason it was substitute teaching is because in order to be a basketball coach in New York City, you had to have a substitute teacher's license. That just ensured that you went through the Corey, meaning you got fingerprinted. They ran your background check, all of that. So it was just an easy way, but it also was like, oh, I have a substitute teacher's license. But I didn't even sub that first year because I was like, I seen the movies. Not me, not today. But, you know, the next year, Humble Pie said, listen, sir, you're going to coach basketball and you're going to substitute. So I doubled up. And then that's how I ended up segueing into teaching. I always wanted to teach English, creative writing in college, but that's completely different. That's a whole nother career path. So I say all that to say, once I stumbled into coaching. And once I started coaching, and granted, I'm not a basketball head. Like, I'm not like, I didn't play basketball with any intention of going to the league or anything like that. Like, my friends were doing it and they were really passionate about it. So it was like osmosis. I picked it, but I also knew I was always deferring. I wasn't like trying to be number one anything. I didn't even know that I was athletic, to be honest with you. I just knew like if I put my mind to something, I could do it. So that's how it felt when I started dunking, and that's like everything was just like me putting my mind to it. But I didn't have a skill set. I wasn't trained. Like nobody had me up in the morning like pat 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 pat. Like that wasn't my life. I was more like a meathead running around robbing the ice cream man or stealing from the ice cream truck. So that's all just to say I stumbled into the basketball coaching, and then it just so happened that basketball was a perfect language to communicate some life lessons to the young guns that I was coaching. So it just so happened that it was perfect. And I've had no problem immediately giving them everything I had. I was like, oh, perfect, like this works. Use the game of basketball, use the language. It's the perfect combination of philosophy, but also physical, like willpower. So it's very spiritual. I mean, you can ask any of my players from over the years, 10 plus years. I cried so much. I cried when it was good, bad, but it wasn't like crying out of fear or sadness. It was never that. It was always like pride or such emotional, like we tapped into such an emotional thing, you know? Yeah, so I had no problem giving my all to that gang. And still, like I knew that was a lifelong bond, and it still is for sure. Shout out to my gunners, Peanut, Mo, Tank, Cuddy, B. I mean, the list is crazy. It was so, brother, Behind, baby. I mean, Juice, it's just so many players, and not to mention the ones that I came up with. So it was a perfect language, and it's like couched in this beautiful. It's like the best truths are hidden in the most beautiful fictions, and it became one of those. A Trojan horse of truth, really. So I say all that to say, that group, I knew we were on the same page. Anybody you bang out with, like you've been through real adversity. Every game we had was an away game. Like, that's different. In New York City, Bronx, Brooklyn, that's different. Our home gym was the Kennedy Center, and then our other home gym was Wadley. Shout out to Coach Crump. You know, so fast forward from basketball, then I started doing more like Coachlife stuff and trying to empower people who's trying to get it in another way, you know. So to use creative agency is what it ended up being called, and student powered workshops and all of that. But it was to use either education or entrepreneurial efforts to create the change or the space that we wanted in the world. And so it felt great. And I was doing that as my first novel was just gaining a little bit of traction in terms of a work, but not much. But then I just started to realize, like, I'm not even interested in, I told the story that I wanted to tell, and it's not even who I am anymore. So that first novel, it served its purpose. I'm good off of that. And then also the Coachlife creative agency stuff, everyone was in like a hustler mode, and that's not what I was trying to do it for. So it became, over the last 4 years, it's been quite a learning experience, but I've realized now, finally, yesterday, who I could reach where it will actually be the effect that I want to have a lasting resonance. And I'm very happy to share that. If you know me, you know I don't share anything unless it's mature enough to be shared. That's how you kill dreams. So when it's time, you will know. But that's where I'm at right now. And I got to go lesson plan and finish up for today, because today is a regular day before the students go to Italy. And these kids got it good, man. So, yeah, that's it. It's good to touch base again. I'll probably upload like 3 or 4 Coachlives, but I'll give the date and the context so you'll know what it is. This one should be called Tribe, because I finally figured out where I can be of most value that feels great to me. So, ciao.